Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to this live chat and coffee. Get yourself a coffee, get yourself comfy, get your questions ready about energy, spirituality, law of attraction, energy blocks, anything you want to ask about that. I am here to answer those questions. So, who have we got? Say hello, tell me where you are in the world, and fire away with any general energy questions. I am all yours for the next hour. Hello and welcome. I'm seeing the viewers going up. 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello, welcome. Say hello. Tell me where you are in the world. And how are you finding the energies in this strange February of healing, clearing, challenges, history repeating itself with 8 planets in Aquarius at the moment, which is all about freedom. So anything that holds us back from our freedom is coming up to be healed and cleared. Hello, Brenda Bando. Hello in Minnesota. Welcome. Early there in Minnesota, isn't it? Are you Central Time or Eastern Time or PST? I can't remember. Who else have we got? Say hello. Fire away with any questions or just discussion, chat with each other as well. I'm just going to hold this space for us to have a chat about energy. Got yourself a coffee, a tea, glass of wine, depending on what time of the world it is where you are. Whatever you want. I'm looking over here because I'm looking at the chat, waiting for your questions to pop up or your observations. How have you found this week? Hello, Lisa B. The energy to clear has been very strong. Lisa in West Sussex. Hello, Lisa. It has been very strong. We've been seeing this a lot. Oh, you're Central Time, so you're 6 hours behind. So what are you? 11 o'clock in the morning, I think. So the energy at the moment, yes, it's been quite interesting. There's been a lot coming up that is reminiscent of the past, either in a similar way or in a almost identical way. Depends how similar it is as to how much you've previously cleared and just this last bits are coming up, and that you can feel that it's not as strong as it used to be, but it's still triggering you a little bit. Kimone Rayner, hi. Queen, hello. Welcome. So we're not doing readings today. This is a chat about energy and spirituality and the law of attraction and blocks, and anything you want to talk about that is spiritually based, anything at all. Hello, Lady Ginger in Canada. Hello, Kimone Rayner. Question, please. Yeah, I'm not doing personal readings, but a general energy question. Fire away. That's what I'm here for. This is a kind of Q&A session. So you can ask questions about angels and guides and spiritual teams and energy and the law of attraction and flow and triggering and reacting, unsettled energy, whatever you're feeling. June Easton, hello in Darwin, Lancashire. How's the snow up there in Lancashire? Pretty bad? We haven't got any down here in Cornwall, but it's damn cold, really cold. It's 1 degree here today. Kimone wants to know, how do you steer yourself in the right direction after an awakening? Really good question, sweetheart. Really good question. So how do you steer yourself in the right direction after an awakening? An awakening of any kind, whether it's a spiritual awakening, a sexual awakening, a love awakening, whatever it is, throws us. Hello, Nicole Brown. Hi, Donna. Donna Spanier. Hello, sweetheart. Hi, Ashley. Good morning in Washington State. Good morning to you over there in Pacific time. Amy Glynn. Used to live in Lancashire. It's freezing, yeah, it's freezing all over the UK. We've got a cold snap. We've got a beast from the east, as we call it over here. I'm in Cornwall. We're due some snow tomorrow, but we don't tend to get it so bad here. So yes, Kimon, it is a spiritual question. So steering yourself in the right direction after an awakening. First of all, we want to process what has been awakened. So in your case, there is a spiritual awakening. What any awakening does is it shakes our beliefs up. All right. And that can be very unsettling. Hi, Grace in a freezing Yorkshire. Hi, Lindsay Dixon. You and your sister had identical dreams on the same night. What does it mean? Oh, that's a lovely question. Ashley's saying, what's a sexual awakening? Okay, so any energy shift where it feels very different and it brings up to the surface a lot of questions and a lot of, oh, I don't understand what I'm feeling. I've never felt this before. I've never experienced this before. That is an awakening. So you can absolutely have that with anything. A spiritual awakening is, for example, when my belief system said there's nothing, and all of a sudden I believe there is something. So there is a big shift in my beliefs from one to the other. Or if I've been religious all my life and now I've become spiritual, there is a lot of challenges to my beliefs. A spiritual awakening, we're born, all of us, psychic, if you like, okay? I don't particularly like that word, but you know what I mean by that word. So intuitive, a sense of knowing, a sense of intuition, a sense of hunch. I know that. I don't know why I know it. I just know it. All right. For whatever label you want to put on that, we're all born with that ability because we're all souls inhabiting a human form, and the soul will communicate with the human form, and we have this dialogue going on. It's very strong in childhood. You watch children, toddlers with their imaginary friends. They're not imaginary friends, they're spirit friends they're talking to. They can see. And we start to close it down. Some later than others, but generally most children have been closed down to their spiritual self by about the age of 5. But it's not gone, it's closed down. It's like a telephone line that has been unplugged from the wall. All right, it's not working anymore. All right, so at some point in your life, if you're blessed, which many people are now awakening, you wake back up, you plug it back in. All right, so you're suddenly aware of energy and spirit and form, and you suddenly know without question that you're not alone in this universe, that we're connected, that we're part of something bigger, and it shakes you up. And it's a spiritual awakening that you realize that there's not just you, but within you is the I am presence, a spirit, a soul, the God force, the Godhood, that around you is a spiritual team and ancestors and loved ones, and that there is no such thing as death. We just move into a different form, but the energy is eternal and the energy flows, and it can be very unsettling and very frightening. And so once you've had a spiritual awakening, you kind of want to explore everything. All right, shall I look at this? Shall I look at that? Shall I look at that? And you don't know which path, which direction. You are trying to lead the narrative, you know? So in terms of answering your question about how do you direct yourself on the right path, is really the best way is to step back and allow your soul to guide you. Now that you've got the telephone line connected between you and your inner self, you can allowing is such an important part of energy. Allow your spirit to guide you, your soul to guide you. And rather than you try to do everything at once or back away from everything all at once because it's overwhelming, just back off for a moment, meditate, sit in a quiet space and ask yourself, what do I feel drawn to explore and find out more about? I might want to be drawn to find out more about the law of attraction and energy, or I might be very drawn to crystals, nature, shamanism, Reiki, healing, all sorts of things like that. So you just allow it, okay? And you will find that once you allow this flow to go with you and it feels comfortable, then you trust it more and you give it a little bit more influence. It's like, okay, you tell me where to go, you tell me what to do, and you start to trust this inner dialogue more and more, and it will always lead you right. Does that answer your question, sweetheart? Let's look at some of your other questions and comments. I'm just scrolling back up. Okay, so Where are we? Okay. Lindsay wanted to know about you and your sister having identical dreams on the same night. So that's showing that you and your sister in that particular energy moment were very connected. And many of us are very connected to family, and others with our significant other, our partner. That we know when we sense when something's wrong. But we can do this in our dreams too. So you can be just drifting off and your minds are both just connected at that point, and you're kind of reading each other's thoughts. It's a form of telepathy, but it's really just the connection of energy between you, and you're sharing that same space in that moment. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay. Ashley, hi. Was a sexual awakening. A sexual awakening would be a similar thing, if you have never known the joy and passion of a really beautiful sexual connection, and then you experience that, it wakes you up on every level to know that there is more. It's expansion. It's expanding your energy, your chakras, your heart center. It expands everything, and then that throws everything else into question. If I haven't experienced this before, why not? What's gone wrong? I wasn't ready, or we just start to question, and all of it is to help us awaken and open more and more. We awaken our mind, our heart, our body, our inner knowing. That's what it's all about, awakening. We are in this energy of awakening. Okay. Lady Ginger, -43 here in Canada. Oh my days, I can't even compute those kind of numbers. But I know you guys in Canada, your country is set for those kind of temperatures. You've probably got triple and quadruple glazing. We've got double glazing over here. And we don't have snow tires. We've got a few snow plows. We don't get enough snow to warrant it. We don't get heated runways or heated train tracks. So when we get any bit of snow or ice, the country grinds to a halt. But as we're in lockdown, we're basically in a halt anyway. So it's not exactly making a huge amount of difference. Jessica's saying you left my hair like this. Thank you. It's very, very windy today. I've been out, I got blown away, and it's just gone a little bit mental, my hair today, but it's all right. Thank you very much. Hi, Catherine Falls from a cold East Sussex. So Kimon, that's answered your question. Good. Donna, I have a question regarding when you keep optimistically knowing something better is coming, but after over a year, it's hard to keep optimistic and a little depression comes in. All right, how do you keep positive? So first of all, it's a really good question. What happens when you start losing faith and you start losing hope, and that little voice of despair comes in saying you're kidding yourself, you're living on false hope, wake up and smell the roses, and then your little inner self crushes saying, I really believed it was true. Okay, how do we discern and decide what is false hope and false optimism and what is not? There's a psychologist, Stellman, I think he's called, that did positive psychology and actually examined the positivity of positive thinking, and can it have a knock-on effect in a negative way? And it can. We can be overly optimistic, and what that is, it's actually a defense mechanism where and by overly optimistic I mean we're not being very realistic, okay? And it's a defense mechanism because when we're living on hope, we haven't got to live with the reality of how challenging life is, so we focus on the hope and that keeps us going. Does it mean that it's a bad thing? Not necessarily. Sometimes people's lives are so hard that the only thing that keeps them going is hope. So does it really matter if it's false hope or true hope? It's keeping them going. That's the most important thing, okay? So that aside, sometimes it's not false hope, but we're not fully aligned with a dream, a goal, an aspiration, yeah? If we're not fully aligned, it can't come in. What does that mean? Okay, so I was talking about this a little bit 2 weeks ago when I had this similar sort of chat. And I was explaining, we were talking about love in that instance, all right? Why isn't my partner shown up? Why haven't I got my soulmate? Why, I'm ready for love. Where is it? And I asked you all, those you were here for that talk, to put your hand on your heart and ask your inner self, close your eyes and ask your inner self, are you absolutely 100% sure that you want love in your life? And allow the answer to come forward. And in every case, it's not 100%. It might be close, it might be 98, 99, but in many cases it can be 50%, 60%. Well, you're nowhere near. It can't come until you're absolutely 100% sure. Let me give you another example. Let's imagine that you're in a very unhappy marriage and you want to leave. But you're about 50% sure you want to leave and 50% of you wants to stay. Are you going to go? No. The 50%'s got to go to 60 and 70 and 80 and 90. And when we finally get to 100%, there is nothing that's going to keep us there. We've made our decision. We don't think it, wish it, hope it, and in about it. We have made a decision. I'm out. We're done. I'm going. When you get to that 100%, there is nothing that will hold you back. You are fully aligned with leaving and you will leave, right? But it's the same with that you taking action to go. It's the same when you're taking action to align with a new partner or a new job or a new anything. You have to be 100% sure that you want it on every part of your being, all right? Let me explain. So you know that I'm able to buy a house, all right? I'm in the middle of buying a house. And it's all going through beautifully. And then out of the blue, a few days ago, I had a real shock where something went wrong. It suddenly was blocked. It's like you can't have the house. And I was like, what? I absolutely believe with 100% of my being that that's the right house for me. What do you mean, no, I can't have it? It was a real shock. So first of all, I did what we all do as humans. I blamed everybody else, right? It's what's the matter with these stupid mortgage people? What's the matter with this? What's the matter with that? And then I went, whoa, hang on. You're a law of attraction teacher. What would the law of attraction say about this? It would say I'm not fully aligned, right? So I had to, hand on heart, what part of me absolutely, definitely, 100% wants that house? Is there any part of me that's got any doubts? And I found two little doubts. One was about 10% and one was about 5%. Okay, so there was a part of me, because I'm moving away from my daughter up to my sons, there was a part of me feeling I don't want to leave my daughter. And that meant I wasn't fully aligned with going. So I had to clear that. And then there was a part of me concerned about the size of the house. So I had to clear that. And then I woke up this morning and I felt we're clear. We should be good to go now. And a couple of hours ago, I got the all clear. Yeah, we can move ahead again now. Whatever that block was has been cleared. Well, that block, we can say, well, it was this or that or the other. No, it wasn't. It was in here. That's where the blocks are. When you clear them, then you clear the path to go forward. Does that make sense? And does that answer your question, Donna, about how you stay optimistic? Don't know if I did answer that. So to fully answer that then, how do you keep optimistic knowing something better is coming, right? Your inner being is saying to you, you deserve better than this. Why are you settling? Well, focus on what you really want, not what you think you can have, not what you think you can put up with. Focus on what you really want right now. It's not there at the moment. It feels out of reach. And so it feels that I'm being overly optimistic because it's not there yet. But what I want to do is look at every part of me that can align now with that goal, that you know there's something better coming. And you look at every aspect of you that might be blocking that, which might be it won't last. If it comes, I'll only be disappointed, or I'll lose it, or any of those. All of that will hold it away. So you have to look at all of those and clear them, and then it aligns. All right? I hope that answers that. Let me know if it does, Donna, okay? Nicole Brown, I'm a very vivid dreamer and remember them with great detail. Many people tell me this is not of the norm. How do I use these dreams to channel messages or meanings? Beautiful question, Nicole. Okay, so we have dreams for three different reasons. One is just making sense of the day. It's the way our brain processes the day, like it does its little filing job, okay? And so it brings up stuff from the day. Another is that our subconscious is bringing up to the surface through our dreams our fears, our insecurities and wibbles and wobbles so that we can work on them and sort them out. And the third one, which is much more rare, is messages from our soul and messages from our spiritual team. So these are premonitions, these are guidance, information, downloads, things like that. All right. So some people will remember everything very clearly. I always say keep a piece of a pad and a pen by your bed if you're an avid dreamer, because there's messages in there for you. Write them down because you won't remember in the morning. Generally, you do though, you're saying, Nicole. So then you process it. What does that dream mean? What is it showing to me? Yeah. So I've had all this uncertainty all week about whether I'm having my house or not, but my heart says I still feel that this is okay. And I woke up this morning and I was dreaming I was living in my new house, and in the corner was a new fire, log fire, which there isn't a log fire in there at the moment. And I woke up and I was like, oh, I got to get a log fire. And then I remembered I don't even know if I'm having the house at the moment. Yeah. And I just took that as a sign, my inner being saying it's going to be fine. There's nothing to worry about. Okay. So how do you use the dreams to channel messages? Write them down. And then once you're awake and you've had your morning cup of tea or coffee or whatever, then process it. Ask it, meditate on it. What does that mean? What are you trying to show me? What are you trying to tell me? And it's your inner self, your subconscious, your internal universe trying to give you some guidance or information or warnings, which they will do, kind of pull you back, going the wrong way, go this way instead, and listen to it like that. Okay. Kathy Chase is asking, how do you improve access to your own intuition, understanding what it's telling you and trusting it? Kathy, it's a really good question. How do you improve it? It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets, okay? So practice. You can practice meditation, journaling, practice with cards, tarot and stuff like that. Practice on intuition with yourself, okay? You can, some of the things I used to do to strengthen mine, it's strengthening your faith and trust more than anything. Okay, your intuition is absolute 100%. It's your mistrust that pulls it back, keeps kind of cancelling it out. So it's the trust and the faith that we have to work on. So I would do things like, I'm going to go to the shop to get some milk. Not that I do anymore. I'm dairy intolerant, don't have milk anymore. But in the old days, I'd go to the shop, get some milk, and I would, as I got in the car, ask my angels, my parking angels, to get me a parking space. And every single time, as I was driving to the shop, a car would pull out and I would pull in and I would say, thank you very much. And that strengthened my faith and my trust that they're there, that they're listening, that I, as the manifester, created that, co-created it with the universe. And therefore, I can start to trust my power of manifestation and my support from my spiritual team more. Okay? So the more you practice it, the stronger that gets. All right, so practice. That's how you do it. Okay. Let's see what else we've got here with questions. Christine Dingley, Venture Reality Partners, is feeling lost. Are you, sweetheart? All right, let's all send Christine some love and support. All right, it's quite strong energy of feeling lost this week. It's been going on for about 3 weeks. It's quite heavy, but it's for us to be able to pull up and out insecurities, doubts, wibbles, wobbles, triggers, patterns. It's a healing energy and it's not comfortable, but it will pass, all right? And I've been saying this for February. We're going to be in this energy for February. And because Mercury's retrograde as well, what's tend to happening is a lot of old stuff from the past that we thought we dealt with is coming up. And it doesn't mean we hadn't dealt with it, but there just might be a bit left over that we missed. And that's what's coming back up, okay? It will pass. I think They just agree. And second, 3rd of March, the energy shifts. All right. So as soon as we get into March, it'll start to feel better. Okay. Vivian Covington, hello there. How come it stopped and used to concede through the walls and everything, then one day unicorn comes through a window and everything stopped like it was a curse or something? Okay, it can stop and it can start because we're overusing it, over relying on it. We're not building trust in ourselves, we're building trust in our spiritual team to tell us what to do or guide us, and that is in the end then disempowering us. I see this a lot in the spiritual community. People can't make a decision without asking the cards or swinging a pendulum or using dowsing rods, and it's like, you keep doing it often enough, they'll take it away. You'll find that you're just not getting the answers. So it goes away because we're overly reliant on it. And they are saying you need to start trusting yourself and your own decision making, your own discernment, and then come back to work with spirit, to work with them, not them doing it for you, giving you the answers. Does that make sense? Okay. Brenda wants to know, what is the dark night of the soul? All right. It's an expression I use, and I think other people use it a lot too. It basically means that we've all got shadow side and a light side. And in the spiritual community, we tend to focus a lot, I do, a lot on the light. I choose to see the positive. I choose to see that I'm supported. I choose to stay in faith. But I also have a dark side where I will get angry or upset or sad or hopeless or angry, any of those things. That's my dark side. That's my hopeless side. It's within us all. And we will have times where the dark night of the soul is like your soul bringing up and forward all of your demons, your fears. There's no such thing as demons, but basically your fears, your insecurities, your triggers, all coming up at once, and you feel overwhelmed, like you're in a big black tunnel and you're trying to find the light at the end of the tunnel, and you want to run the other way away from it, and your soul is saying, no, you can't go backwards. You can only go through this darkness and out the other side. You can't avoid it. You can't run from it. You can't escape it, because it'll just keep coming and coming and coming until you turn to face it. And you face it and you deal with it. And what happens when you deal with it is that it releases, it neutralizes, and it grows you in so many different levels. It grows you in strength and resilience and trust. It grows you in compassion. It grows you in acceptance. We become less judgmental when we've been through a dark time. We become much more understanding and compassionate of others who are going through a dark time. It grows us in so many ways. And our journey on this lifetime on this planet is to grow in light. And sometimes we grow in light by being around light people, light beings, and we grow in light from being in and around love, and that's beautiful. But we can also grow hugely from being in the darkness, in the dark night of the soul. We grow there too. Okay, I hope that helps. Ashley saying, let me get some coffee. You guys got coffee? Ashley Farnsworth, I experienced my spiritual awakening in summer of 2019, but I also thought it was from a catalyst meeting, Joel, because that is what happened. Maybe at a sexual awakening as well. Could be. Yep. Okay. So you've only awakened in the last 18 months and you're playing catch up. And one of the things with catch up, it can be quite scary. All right. So people like me who've been spiritually conscious, I never closed down. I was awake as a child all the way through, seeing things that nobody else could see. It freaked me out. I used to really be freaked out. But I'm 57 now. I've had all my life of being like this. So it's been a journey that's part of my life. But for other people who suddenly wake up and they can suddenly sense energy and beings, it's scary. It's like, oh my God. But the more you embrace it, the more you work with it, you can catch the likes of me up, who's been doing this for 50 years, and you've been doing it for 15 months. You can catch me up and overtake me. People like Zita Zuri have. She's 21. She is incredibly gifted spiritually, and the wisdom and the channel is just beautiful. I love to see it. And there's lots of young people like that too. But people of all ages are waking up and you're catching up. So don't feel that you've got to run to catch up. You already are. It's like you're on a conveyor belt, whereas people like me had to walk uphill against they're drilling next door. Joy. People like me had to walk uphill where everybody thought it was mad and bonkers and crazy and weird. You're in an energy where you're very supported, and that helps you to open up more and go with it easier and quicker. All right, because it's not bonkers to our community, is it? All right, it's normal to our community, so you get the support where you don't feel weird. I used to keep trying to pull back from it because there was nobody around like me back in the 70s and 80s, whereas now look at YouTube and the amount of tarot and spiritual and energy and law of attraction teachers. There are hundreds of thousands of us all supporting each other, and it's beautiful. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Brenda. And Ashley, Kimo saying okay. Okay, Amy, you've got a question that's slightly complicated. Throw it in. I'll see if I can help. Okay. It's jumping up a bit. Hold on. Okay. Kimo saying it helped. Okay. Helen Lurston, hi. How can I trust that I hear my team and not myself? Oh, that's one of the hardest. I haven't mastered that myself. All right, it's really difficult. The one way we definitely know is when you're having information that you didn't know. All right, that's easy. It's like, well, I didn't know this, so it couldn't have come from me, therefore must have come from my spiritual team. But when you do know, you've got to be really careful that your own desires and judgments don't get in the way. I find it extraordinarily difficult to do a reading for myself because my own desires get in the way. I find it very difficult to do a reading for my children because my own desires get in the way. So how do I know what is true and what is not? I don't. I just will say, take what resonates and leave the rest, including for me, and allow. So I step into an energy of allowing, and I also step into the feeling of it, all right? Because our soul talks to us through the language of feelings. Does it feel good? Does it feel right? Does it fit? Does it feel bad? Does it feel uncomfortable? Does it feel wrong? Listen to the feelings, feel the feelings, and allow. That's the only advice I can give you there, because it's something that we are constantly working on. Is that me or is that you? You know, it is hard. Okay. Kimone, you're very welcome. Motivation me. Hello, sweetie. What is the best way to connect to your ancestors? That's an easy one I can answer, and that is simply by intending it and desiring it. Okay. So you just, in your mind, intend it. I want to connect with my ancestors. And thank you for coming forward. And then you just allow yourself to go into a quiet space and you invite. All right. Use the I am presence. I am inviting my ancestors to come forward and support me and guide me. Thank you for your love. And here's my love back. And they will be there like that. Same with your angels, same with your spiritual team. You just intend it and they are there. Okay. Monday Kristen, when you shut down your intuition for a long time, how do you open it up? I'm trying to get clarity and I can't sense, hear or feel my way. Okay, so when you've been shut down for a long time, again, start with the intention. I am ready to open up. I am willing, ready and able to open up. And then feel what comes up. Does it feel fear? Do you feel resistance? Do you feel like, oh, I don't know if I do want to? Right, let it just come up. And if it's fear, embrace it. Don't push it back. Just say, okay, I'm allowed to be scared. It's all new and different. I'm going to feel the fear and let it come up and dissolve because I am ready and I've decided I'm ready and I want this. I'm ready for this. So you intend it and you want it. And then your desire is inside you and it will align then, all right? And your soul will guide you, all right, to where you need to be and how you go forward. Okay, so I hope that helps. Classic Design Boutique, hello. Vivian, hi, in New Jersey. Donna saying makes total sense. Good. I don't always make sense, usually, but not always. Yes, my block was not wanting to let go of my time to myself. There you go. You found your block. All right. It's understanding that when something is not flowing or going wrong, it's we need to take the responsibility into ourselves, not the blame. There's a big difference between blame and responsibility. Blame is I've done something wrong, all right, deliberately, because I'm a terrible person, all right, or I'm useless. No, 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 no. We don't want any of that. We want to take responsibility. If this isn't flowing and it is in alignment with my desire, then I am blocking it in some unseen, unhidden way that I'm not aware of. So now I'm going to ask for help. Thank you for showing me my blocks. Thank you for showing me where I'm in my own way and helping me to get out of my own way so that I can align with being open to receive. All right, so we find those blocks, which is why I created the program Unlock Your Block. Oh, and I've made that new one. I can't remember who asked. Can we have one for finding a new job? I've made it. It's on my website and it's available. And the Unlock Your Block program is half price until the end of February. It's been half price since I set it up in October or November, but I'm like, I've got to really put it up to the proper price now. So 1st of March, it's going up to $19.99. At the moment, it's $9.99. So the jobs one is there for you. But whether it's jobs or love or money or success or weight or whatever it is, you're not aligned with it 100%. Once you are, it falls into place. So what we've got to do is look at, where are my blocks to that alignment? Why am I not open to receiving? There's a part of me saying I don't want it. Yeah. So it's like, what do I do? Well, clearly there's a part of you inside we need to find that doesn't want it. And then we help dissolve that, neutralize it, and then you'll align and then it will come and flow. All right. Okay. Jackie, I was just about to read yours and then it jumped. Where's it gone? Hang on. There we are. Jacqueline Gartland, should I go ahead with the court case? I'm not doing personal questions, sweetheart. Sorry, I'm doing energy and spiritual questions. If you want to come back tomorrow, I am doing live readings tomorrow by Super Chat. Tomorrow, same time, by the way, and Sunday as well. Okay, Donna, what does it mean when you can hear a loved one who has passed and you think of them often, even though you haven't thought of them for some time? Okay, basically, when you're thinking of a loved one, sometimes it's that they're near and you're picking up their energy, and so they pop into your head. Sometimes it's not that they're near, but they're thinking of you, and that thought travels through space and time to you, and you pick up that thought. They're thinking of you, so you think of them, and vice versa. All right. They tend to be around more at the beginning when they've first passed over, because they sense that you need them more. You haven't quite got used to them not being around, so they can't be around in the physical, but they can be around with their energy and their love. And then as you come to terms with it and let go, they spend more time over that side and less time with you. Okay. Let's have a look where we are. Okay, Donna's saying, we always had a parking angel where I would take my mum out. Yeah, so use your parking angels. They're just little ways that it helps strengthen your faith and trust. It's like, oh, I'm not me own, they are there, okay? But it's whether you say parking angels, I certainly said that for a long time. These days I would say that I'm using the I am presence. I am manifesting and creating that. The universe is supporting me in that creation and rearranging itself to make things happen. So much more empowered, rather than my angels did it for me. It's like, no, I did it, and my angels worked with me to support the decision that I'd already made to have a parking space. It's all about that decision. Think about the word decision, because it's so important. It's so important. And think about the difference between I think, or I'd like, or that'd be nice. Is that a decision? It's not. It doesn't feel anywhere near as strong as I've made a decision. That is my decision. I'm not backing down. I'm not changing my mind. I've made a decision. It's happening. It's much stronger than I'd like something to happen, or I wish or I hope something would happen. The decision is what puts it into action. And if it doesn't flow to you, then you're in your own way. How are you blocking it from coming? So you've put it in action, but maybe you're not in the receiving mode. So we need to look at what part of me doesn't really want to receive it. Okay? Alrighty. Let's have a look. Amy's saying, I'm following a clutch of readers for book research, and you're one of 8, Julie. Oh, thank you. Okay. And I'm blown away by the extremely explicit synchronicities. I want to ask about tapping into them. Okay. So if we are tuning into the energy collectively on a given day or week, if we are truly connected to that energy, all readers would give you the same message. This is the energy I can see. All right. Now, it happens that very often they will. You will go and watch 5 or 6 readers and they're all telling you a very similar message for that week. And that's great. But sometimes, you know, there are people that are not really tapped into the collective. They're part of the collective, of course. But one reader might particularly connect with one person and have a message for them. And you will hear readers say this. I don't know who this is for, but I need to tell you this. And it'll be for somebody, but not for the rest. So it won't resonate for the rest. Doesn't mean the reader's wrong. It just means that they're being used as a channel in a different way. All right, their soul and the link with the universe is working in a different way. Okay, and that is the truth for many people, but for others it's being generous and kind, because there's a lot of readers on YouTube who have not got a psychic bone in their body, who are not channeling, who are guessing, and who are just reading the cards, and some of them reading them quite badly. But they're learning and they're growing and they're having a go. And that's okay. But it's really about you. You discern and you decide, right, which ones resonate for you and which ones don't. And there's also different readers on different levels. And by levels, I do not mean better than some. Nobody's better than anybody. There are different levels of vibration. There are different levels of advancement and wisdom, and different strengths of spiritual connections. And there's a saying, and I think it goes like this, that when the pupil is ready, the teacher will appear. And that pupil will work with that teacher for a certain length of time, but eventually the pupil will have learned everything from the teacher and they're not growing anymore. The teacher's taught them everything they can. So they move on, the pupil, to find another teacher that's more advanced. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with that teacher. It just means they've taken them as far as they can. Now, for some people, they don't want to go and find a new teacher. It's like, I've learned everything I want to know. That's enough for me. Thank you very much. I'm happy at this level. But others will say, this isn't enough. I want more. Very like the school system. I often use the school education system as an analogy because it's so similar. If you think about school and you go to school at the age of 3 or 4, kindergarten, nursery school, you've got a nursery school teacher who is not PhD qualified. Yeah, they're there to teach 3 and 4-year-olds. They don't need to know about PhD calculus. All right, if I need to know about PhD calculus, I need to go to university and talk to a professor who's got a PhD. Do you see what I mean? There's different teachers on different levels, and not all kids go on to college, and not all college kids go on to do a PhD. Some get to a point where I go, that's enough for me, I don't need to go any further, I'm happy where I am. But for others, there's a thirst for knowledge, a thirst for growth, and they will go and find the next level teacher and the next level teacher. Does that make sense? It's just the same in the spiritual world. Okay. Lyric that the legend. Hi. Oh, thank you very much for that lovely compliment. Thank you. Sue's team, hello. Thank you very much. Brenda, you're very welcome. Jessica Morris, what do light workers do for darkness in others? Okay, so when we see darkness in others, and we all see it all of the time, and what is that? When you see somebody angry, nasty, closed, argumentative, attacking, they're in a dark space. Hurt people, all right? So they're in a dark space. So what do you do when you see somebody in a dark space? If your vibration is high and you're in an energy of love, then when you see somebody acting out or acting up, you don't see the judgment of blame and shame. You see compassion, and you see that person's hurting and struggling and lashing out like a wounded animal. And so you can pour love and compassion and kindness into them, acceptance into them. So you can smile sweetly at somebody and say, are you all right? Is there anything I can do to help you? Even though they're being horrible. All right. And you've just put love and light into their darkness, which will help. And that's what we can do. And we can all do that in a collective. You know, I do it most evenings, not all evenings, hand on heart, but most evenings when I go to bed, I do my gratitude prayers for the day. Thank you for getting me through the day. Thank you for this, that, and the other, all the things that I'm grateful for. And then I send healing into myself. And then I send healing out into the collective and up into the universe. And that's lovely. And if we all do that, that would be amazing. We tend to all do it. We have a collective meditation, but we can all do it individually, feeding light into the collective. And what goes out comes back. And it'll help you too. Okay. Vivian Covington, hello. Oh, you've gone. Where have you gone? I've lost that. Vivian, I think you were saying there you hate it when people call you a witch. Okay. That's all right, Jackie. No worries, hun. No worries. I'm happy to answer questions. I'm answering questions on all that is spiritual. Your questions about life, love, spirituality, energy, blocks, all the rest of it. Okay. There we go. Vivian Covington. I just don't like it when people call me a witch. Darling, let it go. Understand that when people look at you and call you names, and in their mind it's an insult. So, you know, it's about the intention. If they're trying to insult you by calling you a witch, then you receive it as an insult if you choose. I choose not to. All right. So, you know, I've done past life regressions on myself and hundreds of thousands, well, not hundreds of thousands, thousands of other people. And I have been a witch in many lifetimes. That's why I'm very spiritual in this lifetime, because I've had lots of other lifetimes where I understood magic and healing and energy and herbs and healing and all sorts of things. I've been a priestess and a priest. I've been burnt at the stake 4 times at least. And yeah, people have called me a witch. They've called me weird, wacky, bonkers, strange, evil, Satan's child. I've been called it all in my time, particularly in the 70s and 80s when this was very, very taboo, very taboo. And it's understanding that people who insult you like that are frightened of you because they don't understand. They're frightened of something that they don't understand, and that something is clearly present in you. Therefore, that fear is transferred from the thing they don't understand to you. So now they're frightened of you. And I don't want anybody to be frightened of me. So getting angry and upset with them is putting fear into fear. All right. So instead, I accept that they're frightened and I send them love and reassurance. If they want to talk about it, I'll try and reassure them. If they don't want to talk about it, which often happens, I don't want to talk to you, you're Satan's child. I just say, okay, I love Jesus and I love God, but if you think I'm Satan's child, that's okay. That's not a problem at all. I am sending you love and light. And don't let it bother me. So don't let other people. Ignorance is just simply a lack of knowledge and understanding that people have been brought up with very strict beliefs, very strong conditioned beliefs around religion and spirituality. And what we do is, it used to be outside the norm, outside the box. You know, me putting my hands on somebody and healing them, or me seeing spirit or energy or lights or colour. Oh, she's a witch. It used to be outside the norm. We're very blessed in 2021 that it's becoming more and more acceptable. And also that science has come a long way. Quantum science evidences energy and vibration, and our world, my world, is very much that everything is energy and vibration, and now science can prove it, evidence it, support it. So we've got more kudos behind us. It's like, okay, I can see stuff that you can't, but you could if you wanted to. If you didn't fear it, you could see it too. You could tap into your own intuition and your own inner knowing and have it too. We all can. All right, let's see about some more questions, because I can't believe how fast this time goes. Good morning, Elena Nordis. Good morning, Magdalena Prill. Any advice for Magdalena about opening the third eye? So the third eye is here, and it is our spiritual, psychic, insight, knowing, inner knowing little eye. Okay, how do we open it? Is to understand that you don't see with your eyes, you feel it, all right? You see with your inner eye, your inner being. When I'm channeling information directly through, I'm usually channeling with my eyes closed, because it's easier for me if these two human eyes can't see, because then I can give all of my attention to my inner eye and see through that one. So how do we open it? It won't open fully until the chakras below it are open. They have to kind of open in order. All right. Now, why is that important? If, for example, your base chakra, your root chakra, which is your center of security and stability and grounding, if that is locked and blocked and full of fear, then we're not going to be able to open this, because we're too fear-based. So we need to clear that first. And then the second chakra, the sacral, is all about our intuition and femininity and yin energy and creative energy. And that needs to be open for us to be able to interpret the creative world. And then our solar plexus needs to be open for us to be in our power and our trust. All right, because your psychic ability comes from trust and faith, and your trust is held in your solar plexus. So that's got to open. And then your heart has to open for your love and compassion to be able to flow through. And then the throat, which is our center of communication. And we think about it for talking, obviously, but it is an energy of communication that is flowing. And then that comes up to the third eye, so that we can now communicate with spirit. Does that make sense? Okay, good. All right. You're getting it now, are you, Donna? Good, good, good. Job success, here I come. Good, excellent. Okay. It just jumped again. I'm new here. Ali Kia, hello there, welcome. Can you please read general reading? I'm not doing readings, Ali, not today. It's purely chatting about energy, all right? I will be doing them tomorrow if you'd like to join me there. Okay. I've got a genuinely honest presence. Oh, good. Thank you very much. Thank you. Lisa B, I love your unblock your blocks programs. Would you be able to do one for clearing blocks for loving and trusting ourselves? Okay. That is a very, very good question. Do we have blocks to loving ourselves? We absolutely do. All right. And when I created the Unlock Your Block to Love, I have referenced all of those reasons why you may not want romantic love, but we can apply them to loving yourself as well. And I also refer you back to my website under the self-hypnosis audios, where there's learning to love yourself and learning to love your body. All of those will help to clear a lot of blocks. Excuse me, hang on. So what we want to do, you haven't got to buy this stuff from me if you don't want to. I'm not here selling you something. That's there to support you if you want to buy it. That on the Unlock Your Block to Love, this is, yes, predominantly to fall in love and have your life partner, but you cannot and you will not find your life partner unless you love yourself first, because real love, all energy, is a reflection back to you who you are with yourself. And if you're not in love with you, you cannot, it's impossible for you to find a person to be in love with you, because you're not in love with you. It is not a vibrational match. You will, however, keep being drawn to attract partners who also are not in love with you, because you're not in love with you. And they will keep showing you how you don't deserve love, because you believe you don't deserve love. Okay, so it's understanding that all of your relationships in your life are there to reflect back to you who you are with you, not with them. You can be desperately in love with them. It's not about that. It's about who you are with you. Okay, so it's the same with unlocking a block to a job. If I don't feel I'm good enough for that job, it is not going to come to me. I've got to clear that first. Okay, so use the unlock your block to love rather than saying I need one to love myself. That will work for that. Okay, all right, my darling. Donna, just got your unlock for a new job. Okay, thank you so much for putting it out. You're very welcome. RP, hi. I keep saying 1111. I'm aware it's an angelic number, but what is the meaning? Okay, I feel that sometimes I'm looking out for it. Is that usual? Thank you. Yes, it is. Your soul, your inner being, your inner voice is trying to give you a message, all right? And several of you have asked, how do I learn to listen to myself and trust myself? These little messages can be in numbers, repeated numbers. They can be, with colours, with signs. You keep seeing a sign somewhere, exit here, exit there. Why do I keep noticing exit signs? That's your inner being saying, we need to exit something. Okay, what do I need to exit? My job, my relationship, my home, a way of thinking, a way of being. So our inner self will guide us, give us little messages like that. They're like little messages in a bottle. So 1111, the number one is leadership, mastery, being in charge of your own life, your own destiny, taking your power. And now when we double that number, 11, we don't reduce it to a 2. We say that is a master number, 11. So 11, 22 and 33 are master numbers. And it's saying, right, you are the leader and you have lessons to learn in leadership and the quality of being the emperor, the king, the queen, the moving something forward. That you think of the leader, they lead by example and people want to follow them and want to do their bidding. They don't lead by dictatorship, by forcing. So what is the quality of a leader? This is number 11, really. It's the mastery of self. And when it's being repeated 11, 11, then it's saying this is your time. Pay attention to where you're giving your power away or where you are getting triggered and losing your power, because this is the time to step fully into the mastery of self. So that's why you keep seeing it. Your soul is trying to give you a message. So look at your life, get a journal, get a pad out and write down, where am I not leading? Where am I following blindly? And maybe I need to question some of the people I'm following. Where am I disempowering myself? So that's how you would take it forward. That's the way they work with you. Okay. Alban, hi. Jessica, hi. Ali here, I've given energy to a dark person. They took me for granted. Why? Okay, they took you for granted because you allowed it. This is about boundaries, and we can be overly kind and overly giving and overly generous and overly helpful and overly this and overly that. And we need to look at that behaviour, because there will always be people around us who will take advantage of that kindness and take advantage of our help. So why are we allowing it? Why are we not learning to say no? What is holding us back from saying no? And there's a whole raft of stuff underneath there about self-worth and self-trust and self-belief and feeling safe and feeling worthy, because I will feel, if I don't have those things in place, dependent on other people's approval for my well-being. So I'm constantly going to be seeking their approval by doing lovely things for them, at my detriment and giving my power away. So we're in the realms of counselling here. So it's looking at, for those of you new, by the way, I'm a counsellor and hypnotherapist, and that's my other job when I'm not doing readings and teaching. So what you want to do is look at all of those things and start to, first of all, intend it, will it, all right? I am ready to step into my power, to look at where I give my power away, and to allow the realization to come up within me so that I can grow and learn and release. And then you'll find that you're led to the right people, the right books, perhaps therapy, perhaps downloads, perhaps or YouTube videos, whatever. You will find your answers once you are fully open and aligned with I want to change. The universe will work with you to help you change. Okay. So you've given the energy to a dark person, in other words, a negative person, and they took you for granted. Somebody who was very down, depressed, anxious, whatever the darkness is. It's within us all. We've all got shadow side, okay, as long as we're on this planet. I don't, maybe the Dalai Lama, maybe the odd one or two spiritual gurus have got, have overcome and mastered their shadow side. Highly unlikely. When we get up there, we are there to then examine what's left of our shadow side, come back, learn a bit more, get a bit brighter in our light, less shadow. But actually everything works in balance. The universe works in balance. Yeah, all of the stars and all of the light in the universe is against the backdrop of a pitch black universe, pitch black space. That's why the stars shine out. That's why you can see them so well against the darkness. The darkness has its place. The darkness is just an absence of light. And darkness in people is an absence of love. That's all it is. Okay, I hope that helps. Oh, there we go. I'm just reading your next comment, Ali. I treat people kindly and support them. When they have rebuilt themselves, they leave. Is this something in me? Yes, it is, my darling. So you have got a desire here for self-sacrificing for others. It's beautiful to give. I'm here giving you this free hour or so to try and help you on your path, and I'm doing it willingly, and I love doing it, and it's great. But if I'm doing it at my detriment and when I'm exhausted and I haven't got it to give, but I'm doing it anyway because I'm feeling I don't want to let people down, then that's not self-loving, it's not self-worth, it's not self-care, and it's not self-respect. And it's also having no fear that people won't like me or won't respect me if I say no, like I did last weekend. I told you 2 weeks ago I was intending to go live last weekend. I didn't feel too good last weekend, so I cancelled it. And I put up an apology, which is all I can do. Sorry, folks, I'll be back next week. I need to rest this week. And every single person without fail said, no problem, you sort yourself out. But even if somebody had said, you bitch, you let us down, you promised, I would have just said, I'm really sorry you feel that way. I'm sending you lots of love and light. Okay, so we have to let go of the outcome. We let go of what people think of us. The most important relationship is with yourself. What do you think of you? What does your inner being say to you? When I cancelled the shows last weekend, my inner being said to me, thank you so much. I so need to rest. And I said, you're very welcome. Love you loads. What do you need from me? I'm checking in on me. That's not selfish. That's self-care. Okay. And I think also I'm leading by example. When I'm showing you guys, I've cancelled my show because I'm tired. And you all say, well done for looking after yourself. Good. This is what I'm trying to teach you. Okay. Look after you. You're growing your self-love. All right. And everything comes from love. Everything. Okay. Esther Sheehy, you love all that I do. Thank you, darling. Thank you very much. You've been going with the flow. Good. Nicholas Hall, hello. How is Oscar? I haven't seen him for a while. Oscar is absolutely fine. He is no longer living with me. He is living with a lovely family where he's getting 1,000% more attention than he was getting from me. And he's been gone for a couple of months now and he's fine. I keep in touch with him. Kerry H, hello. Magdalena, you're very welcome. June Eastham, how do I with this pain I have, please? How do I deal with this pain I have, please? Kerry H, what time am I on tomorrow? I think it's 5 o'clock. It's on my channel. It's already set up as a premiere, so you can set yourself a reminder. I'm just bringing my calendar up to look now. Yeah, it is 5 o'clock tomorrow UK time and 4 o'clock on Sunday UK time. Okay, so I will be doing readings. It will only be by Super Chat, which is an exchange of energy. Oh, hello, Holly. Hello, sweetheart. Crazy week. I know. I'm just going to be finishing now. I'm just coming over the hour, so I'm just going to wrap it up. But I just want to answer June's question is gone. I was going to answer her question. For any of the rest of you who are in pain, because June's question was about how do you deal with pain, whether it's emotional pain or physical pain or psychological, mental pain, all pain hurts. The first thing we need to do is acknowledge it without judgment and without shame, right? I was at the nurse this morning having some stitches out of my nose. I had a biopsy last week and they took the stitches out and it hurt. And I was going, ow, it hurts. And I said to her, I'm sorry, I've got a very low pain threshold and I'm a complete wuss. But I wasn't saying it in a detrimental way to me. I was saying it in a fact, truthful way to me. It's like, I'm not very good at dealing with pain at all. So I was giving myself an extra hug and an extra bit of comfort by acknowledging that it hurts. So acknowledging is really important, okay? So we want to acknowledge that this is hurting me a lot, all right? And then we say, so how can I help myself? How can I cuddle myself, comfort myself? What can I do to help myself, right? So if it's emotional pain, we need to feel the pain and acknowledge it. We don't need to necessarily look at the event that caused it. That can be very traumatic. I don't need to go and relive an event, but I can acknowledge that I'm holding pain from the event. And then I can allow and intend the pain to come up and be released. All right, we can visualize the pain like a cloud of energy coming up and leaving me. Sometimes I get my clients to imagine it as a ball, like a bowling ball or a basketball or sometimes a beach ball of emotional pain that weighs a ton, and we're going to lift it up and we're going to put it down. The intention is enough to actually create that release. If the pain is physically in your body, again, do the same thing. Go to the site of the pain and ask your physical body, how can I help you? I love you. I feel your pain. What do you need from me? I am listening. I am here. And then understand that the site of the pain isn't necessarily physically caused. It can be, and usually is, emotionally or psychologically caused. Okay. So we then want to go to the cause, the root, and then we heal that, and then the physical pain will diminish. Other physical things will help. Heat or ice packs, the opposite, heat and cold, long hot baths, sitting in nature, being in water. Other things can help the physical pain, as can medication. If you need medication, take medication. You're asking your body, what does it need? I'm here, I love you. And it will respond and it will help you. Okay? All right. Hi, Gemma Gawley. Grace Darcy, hello. Brenda, thank you for your time today. You're very, very welcome. All right, guys, I am going to close it there because I got 2 more shows this weekend, and so I need to pace myself. All right, so I will see those of you that want to jump on tomorrow for live Q&A, super chat only. Sorry. And I am sticking to the timings on that, and I have got a moderator again, my lovely Gemma, who's going to be helping me. So I will see you tomorrow or Sunday, and you take care. I won't be live next weekend. I'm going to Wales to see my house. So I'll be on the week after, last week of the month. Okay. All right then. Hi Phoebe. I'm just closing now. Thank you for being here. Thank you all of you. Love you guys.